Breaking news.
And we are beginning this hour with, if you ever watched an episode of The Cosby Show on MSNBC, on NBC, if you ever watched an episode of The Cosby Show, one of the child stars at the time, a teen child star, Malcolm Jamal Warner, is dead at the age of 54 from an accidental drowning. So Warner played Theodore, in other words, Theo Huxtable, the son of Bill Cosby's Cliff Huxtable, on the NBC sitcom from 1984 to 1992. And it's widely being reported now that he was in Costa Rica on a family vacation and drowned while swimming. The Costa Rican National Police have told ABC News that Warner drowned near a beach, and they claim that he was caught by a high current in the water, and he was found Sunday afternoon. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach us live this hour on this Monday afternoon, a beautiful Monday in New York City, 800-848-9222. But what we're talking about this hour, the real cost of broken policy and failed bail reform. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem in New York blames sanctuary policies for the migrant accused, the illegal accused of shooting the off-duty Customs and Border Patrol officer. And now, thank God, a second illegal migrant has been apprehended in connection with the shooting. Kristi Noem visited the officer in the hospital and blamed sanctuary policies for playing a role in the attack. How could you not? And then when you look at how many times the alleged shooter has been arrested, that there was a deportation order, and yet he's still free to roam the street, still free to cause chaos and wreak havoc on people's lives. Law enforcement from Massachusetts to New York, and this guy is on the street. It is absolutely reprehensible, and that's why we have to thank President Trump for the job that he is doing to clean up the streets, to get rid of the illegals, to get rid of these migrants. They have to go. I can't be any more direct than that. The real cost of broken policy and failed bail reform. A stolen car, slamming into a 63-year-old woman on a New York City bench, and a man who's just out riding his bike. The vehicle, a Malibu, a rental, reported stolen, then careens into an empty NYPD van, and the video is chilling. The driver tried to flee. This is not the first time that she's tried to flee from the scene of an accident involving apparently drugs and alcohol. She was picked up by cops nearby, and her alleged passenger, drugs and alcohol found in the car, and she has a pending Brooklyn court case from an April 13th wreck that struck a bystander. The real cost of broken policy and failed bail reform. 800-848-9222. First, Secretary Noem addressing the media after visiting the Customs and Border Patrol agent.
Miguel Francisco Moro Nunez is and has a rap sheet that is a mile long. He was arrested. He was charged with grand larceny and also assault. The state of Massachusetts has an active warrant out for him for armed robbery with a firearm. He also has many other charges against him, such as kidnapping and witness intimidation. There's absolutely zero reason that someone who is scum of the earth like this should be running loose on the streets of New York City. He was arrested 4 different times in New York City, and because of the mayor's policies and sanctuary city policies, was released back to do harm to people and to individuals living in this city. Make no mistake, this officer is in the hospital today fighting for his life because of the policies of the mayor of this city and the city council and the people that were in charge of keeping the public safe. They refused to do so, and now we have the situation on our hand where someone who has dedicated their lives to protecting the public is now fighting for his own.
So Mayor Adams says he has nothing to do with the policy. Mayor Adams, we've known each other a long time, and you know on a personal level I really like you. But Mr. Mayor, you cannot just think you're going to erase the fact that you welcomed the migrants here. Let's not pretend that you were trying to fight and get rid of them. That's not what happened. You, Mr. Mayor, welcomed them here. I kid you not. If I were the mayor of New York City, I would have went to the Port Authority, made sure that my press secretary called every station in town. What is the mayor going to do today? What is Mayor Carter going to do? Mayor Carter, with his police standing behind him, is going to turn around, and I would probably have a baseball bat in my hand, is going to turn around every single bus that comes in and say, welcome, but you're not welcomed here. You've got to go somewhere else. And you want to sue me in federal court? I'll see you in federal court. All of my lawyers of corporation counsel delay, deny, while I continue the policy. So, Mayor Adams, let's not play this game that you didn't welcome the migrants here, because you did with open arms. And then when it blew up in your face, then you changed course. But it was too late at that point. The borders are for President Trump. Tom Homan also at the news conference with Secretary Noem.
I'll say it again, sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals. And I'm going to work very hard with Secretary Noem to keep President Trump's promise and his commitment several weeks ago that sanctuary cities are now our priority. We're going to flood the zone. You don't want to let us into jail to arrest a bad guy in the safety and security of a jail. You want to release him into the street, which makes it unsafe for the community, makes it unsafe for the officer, makes it unsafe for the alien. Anything can happen on a street arrest. So what we're going to do, we'll have more agents in New York City to look for that bad guy. So sanctuary cities get exactly what they don't want, more agents in the community and more agents in the work site. If we can't arrest a bad guy in the safety and security of the county jail, then arrest him in the community, and we'll arrest him in the jail. And when we arrest him in the community, if he's with others that are in the country illegally, they're coming too. Sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals. President Trump is not going to tolerate it. And I'll work every day with Secretary Noem to make sure we get as many bad guys, illegal aliens out of this country that we can.
Please, Tom Homan, flood the zone. Your words. Flood the zone of sanctuary cities. That is exactly what we need to clean things up. In a moment, I'm going to Joe, line 1 in Mount Sinai. But first, again, my premise today, the real cost of broken policy and failed bail reform. A woman that should have been in jail from a previous, at least, car accident, out free, driving drunk, high yet again. This time she killed 2 innocent people. And this is a report on the horrific accident that happened near Chinatown, right off the bridge. And this is a report from WABC TV.
Shantae and Michelle, let me give you a sense of where we are. This is Canal and Bowery. This is the foot of the Manhattan Bridge, and that vehicle that was involved in that crash was coming off the bridge here. We can show you by the skid marks and the path. That car actually mounted the sidewalk here and then went straight across, took out that tree, and then struck the pedestrians. A bicyclist, actually, who was in the middle of the intersection, and then a woman who was walking a little bit further on the sidewalk there. You can see the Chevy Malibu, that was the car that had come off the bridge, and that NYPD auxiliary van, which was parked at that location, driven across the street and against that jewelry shop, the back end just completely destroyed. All this taking place around 7:30 this morning here again, the intersection of Bowery and Canal Street. A high-speed crash is just by evidence by the amount of damage here. And again, those 2 pedestrians pronounced pronounced dead at the scene. A man on a bicycle, backpack lying in the middle of the road, a woman who was on the sidewalk struck as well. Condition of the driver not yet known, but the investigation continuing here in Chinatown after that deadly crash.
Broken policy, failed bail reform. How many innocent people have to die? How many? 100, 200, 300? Does it require someone related to a major elected official to bring about the change of policy? Does it require someone to be a victim that's related to Governor Hochul or to the Speaker, Carl Hastie, or to the leader of the state Senate? Is that what it requires? That one of their family members has to be a victim before we stop this failed policy and bail reform that is a complete joke, where you see the man that allegedly shot the Border Patrol agent? Oh, I know what crimes to commit. I know what I can do. I know how many times I'll be released. Even if they arrest me, I'll be out in a few days maximum. I might walk out within 24 hours, and I can complete the cycle yet again. Line 1, let's go ahead and open up the phone lines, 800-848-9222. Joe in Mount Sinai. Joe, what's on your mind?
Good afternoon. Last week when they showed you pictures on Fox News and the others that these people in California were throwing bricks and stones and challenging the officers, I knew this was going to happen. If we don't stop these son of a bitches now, we're going to lose our country.
Okay, but wait. Joe, when you say you knew this, you knew what was going to happen?
When those people were throwing that somebody was going to shoot, and
but they didn't know that he was a Border Patrol agent. They didn't know that he was in plain clothes off duty. They were just simply trying to rob him.
They got the nerve to shoot somebody. They don't belong here. We should put a cap in their ass and push them over the border. I'll say it the way they say it, like Tren de Aragua. Put a cap in their ass and push them over the border and let them die of natural causes in the desert. And any agent that rescues them and brings them to our shores should be reprimanded. You rescue them drowning, take them to Mexico side and leave them there.
Hey, Joe, I have to state for the record, I have to clarify something that you just said. Everything you just said, Joe, I absolutely love you. Everything you just said, I agree with you. Use the damn language that they use. I'm not going to say what Joe just said, but Joe is 1,000% correct. And then they'll stop. We're coming right back. Come on, Hunter Biden. Do you think we're all stupid? Now, I'll admit, folks, I have never taken sleeping medication before. But former first son Hunter Biden claims in an interview, a new interview, that his father, remember that debate that ended his campaign? It was over anyway. You know it. I know it. The whole world knows it. But, Democrats want to play this game. Oh, it was the debate. No, it was the bad policy for the last 4 years prior to that debate. But anyway, Hunter Biden says, and there's no record of the Mr. Biden being prescribed Ambien. And Hunter Biden says, I know exactly what happened in that debate. He goes on to say his father flew around the world. He's 81 years old. He's tired. They gave him Ambien to be able to sleep. And he gets up on the stage and looks like a deer in headlights. Only one problem. According to the physical exam for that year, 2024, the doctor makes note of Kevin O'Connor of 6 medications for the commander-in-chief, but the popular sleeping aid was not one of them. But let's just say Hunter Biden is not a fan of President Trump's policy of dealing with the illegals, of dealing with the migrants. I want you to listen, folks, to what Hunter Biden had to say about President Trump's a profanity-laced address about his deportation policy.
For someone, am I going to be like all these Democrats say, you have to talk about and realize that people are really upset about illegal immigration. you? How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned? How do you think you got food on your table? Who do you think washes your dishes? Who do you think does your garden? Who do you think is here by the sheer just grit and will that they figured out a way to get here because they thought that they could give themselves and their family a better chance? And he's somehow convinced all of us that these people are the criminals?
And now, with decades of experience covering elections, here's Dominic Carter's Daily Briefing on the New York City mayor's race.
And to go back to just 1 second to Hunter Biden, excuse me, Hunter. If I were you, I would not use the word criminal. Not a good look for you, okay? I wish you much success in your rehab and so on. But you really, really shouldn't be using the word criminal, and lay off the F word, man. Come on, give it a break. Let's switch to the mayor's race, and the phone lines are open right now, 800-848-9222. So Zoran Mamdani goes to Uganda, right? Goes to Uganda, but it's like he's putting his thumb in our eye. He's mocking us. Referring to what he refers to as the haters. And he says, basically, newsflash, but I'm coming back. Mamdani, why don't you stay? It's okay. We'll be all right. You just stay in Uganda, all right? You like to tell us all the time that you're from there. I want you to listen to this, what the Democrat nominee for president, what he put on social media.
Being a politician means listening, not just to your supporters, but your critics too. And some of these critics, especially on a certain website, have been giving me consistent advice. For example, at SamWhite087, Zoran, go back to Uganda, where you come from and belong. At Teflon Gone, loser, go back to Africa. There are thousands like this from across the country. I hear you. And I agree. I'm going back to Uganda. I'm headed there in a personal capacity to celebrate Rama and I's marriage with our family and friends. But I do want to apologize to the haters, because I will be coming back. And since you will undoubtedly read about this trip in the New York Post, inshallah on the front page, here are a few of my humble suggestions for headlines.
All right, we'll have to save that and can that about the headlines. We're coming right back. And we see all of your telephone calls. We're about to get to them in just a moment. I want to say, first off, though, thank you to the men and women of law enforcement throughout our country. There are millions of us that appreciate what you do day in, day out. You know, most people avoid trouble. When the bullets start flying, 10 out of 10 people go the other way. You go into the fire. You go into the situation. So thank you for that. And I want to apologize to law enforcement for all the knuckleheads. And, you know, it's interesting because at times I've been a knucklehead, too, pulled over for some driving offense where I was guilty. And I've told this story before. What changed my attitude was, and it always seems like the police officers that pull me over happen to know who I am before they pull me over, but I wasn't aware of that. And so one day, this was in the Bronx, and at the time I was in television, and I get pulled over, whoop, whoop. And the officer walks up to the car, and I was not in a good mood. And I rolled down the window. I'm like, what? And he looked at me, and I said, what? What are you pulling me over for? And boy, did he check me for life. Now, I hadn't given him my ID. He said, Mr. Carter, you're not this way on television with the viewers. Why are you this way with me? And I said, officer, I apologize. I'm having a bad day. Because police officers, I guess it's part of the process. After you're busted and you know you're wrong, they ask you, do you know what you did? In which they're asking you to tell on yourself. And if you go to trial, and I always go to trial, if you go to trial, you already told on yourself to the officer, and that's part of the testimony. So be nice to our men and women in blue. You know, you see them in restaurants, you see them on the line getting coffee, and so on. But here's why I'm apologizing for all the knuckleheads. And I want you folks to listen to this, and then we're going right to your telephone calls. This happened. It was a traffic stop. Never listen to the person that's trying to advise you. So it's two officers on scene. They're telling the woman to get out of the car. Get out of the car. Ma'am, get out of the car. At a certain point, the time for talking is over. Listen to this, folks.
Worried the woman finds out the hard way.
Supervisor, now you're reaching inside our vehicle. I feel threatened.
I am.
You're reaching inside our vehicle. I feel threatened. I feel threatened. I feel threatened. Yo, right now. Stop right now. Stop right now. Stop right now. Get off of her right now. Your job is done. Get off of her. Get off of her right now.
It's okay. I have a fee
Get off of her right. Let her go. Let her go right now.
It's okay. I have a fee schedule. I have a fee schedule. It's okay. I have a fee schedule. What am I gonna do?
Follow what I'm saying. Step out of the car. They have no jurisdiction over you. She is not a United States citizen. They have no jurisdiction. You are going to get fired from your job, and she's going to get $250,000 for winning in court. I will see you in court. I will see you in court. I will see you in court. Hey, if you want to play, guess what? I'll see you in court.
Just step off the car.
I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear to God. Oh, you are. Ceci, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you had to go through this. I'm so sorry, Ceci. I promise you I will get you out of court. I will get you out.
All you had to do was comply.
That's all they had to do. That's all they had to do.
I gave him my passport, sir.
That is not a driver's license.
Sir, you can look me up in the system and you'll find me.
So why is it people always want to comply after police had to get physical and show you that they're not playing anymore? So I wish you could see it. They gave her, about 12 tries with her jailhouse lawyer sitting right next to her. But it wasn't him that got yoked up. It was her. Literally snatched out of the car, dragged on the floor, and they still were nice. Dominic Carter here with you, 800-848-9222 on this Monday afternoon. Let's go to your telephone calls. Juan in New Jersey, line 1. What's on your mind, Juan?
Hey, how you doing, Dominic? I just wanted to call you out on something. You were saying something about Hunter Biden, that he's a criminal. He shouldn't be saying anything about criminals because he's a criminal himself. But what about your boy Trump? Your Trump is a convicted criminal also. And he talks about criminals and this and that.
Okay, so you ready for me to respond, Juan? You ready?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Ooh, Juan, you got me. Not. Now let's think about this for a second. Do you want to talk about the tax charges for Hunter? Or do you want to talk about the gun charges for Hunter? Or do you want to talk about the pardon that Daddy gave him on the way out when he didn't show up for the sentencing on the gun charge? Or do you just want to focus on Trump? I'll leave it up to you, Juan.
Okay, I can speak now?
Yes.
I'm not talking about any charges. I am specifically talking about you're saying that Biden shouldn't say or even talk about criminals because he's a criminal.
No. What I said was, Juan, that he should not use the word criminal himself. That's what I said.
Uses it every day, right?
What you said he used? You cut off. I didn't hear you, Juan.
But Trump uses the word criminal every day,
as
right?
He should. As he should. He's the president of the United States of America.
Do you even listen to yourself after you have your show?
I am listening to myself. Are you listening to yourself? Now, let me tell you what I heard from you, Juan. Are you ready for me?
I didn't use my real name? Is that what you're going to say?
No. That's not what I'm going to say. What I'm going to say is the moment your call popped up, I could clearly see you were a Trump hater. Number one. That's number one. Number two, you're trying to compare these false situations. You're ignoring that Trump's case is under appeal. You're ignoring that it was a kangaroo court and that if it wasn't held in New York, he would have never been convicted. What happened to the other cases, Juan, that were up against Trump? What happened to those?
Sir, I'm not talking about
that. Yeah, you don't want to talk about that, right? Because you're a straight-up Trump hater. Just admit it, Juan.
No, I'm not a hater. I hate them all.
Okay, you hate them all. All right. Well, that's fair. You hate them all. Okay. But Trump's situation, are you going to tell me you don't think, Juan, that he has a good chance at winning his appeal? And then,
win?
who cares? Oh, so we want to call the man a convicted felon, but then if he wins his appeal, that doesn't count.
Of course he's going to have it overruled.
Now, are you listening to yourself?
Of course he's going to have it overruled.
Okay, so wait a minute. So if his case is overturned, you still want to call the man a convicted felon?
When that day comes, then I'll change my mind. But
so Juan, are you listening to yourself? I mean, believe me, I'm prepared for every call that I take, Juan, and I know that what I say has to pass the muster. It has to pass the scrutiny test. So I am complete, and I got to move on, Juan. But thank you for the great call. It really is refreshing to hear the Trump haters. It's just oozing and oozing and oozing the hater rate. Oh, he's a convicted felon. He was elected president again. He's a convicted felon. 34 counts, Dominic. Excuse me, it was a kangaroo court, and it started over some nonsense, right, with hush money payments to a porn star. And what businessman you know would not pay the porn star to make this stuff go away? Oh, well, he paid the money, backdoor routes, and a violation of campaign finance. No, not really. It was questioned, and nobody wants to talk about the fact that the DA prior, Cy Vance, wouldn't take this case on, would not take the case on. Let's go to line one, Judith in Brooklyn. Judith, what's on your mind?
Hi, I just want to say, okay, to this guy before, I hope he's listening, President Trump, every single credible lawyer out there, a professor for 60 years, Alan Dershowitz, Greg Jarrett, the other guy, what's his name, McCarthy, all said they don't know the crime to even explain to anyone what he did. This is like you said, kangaroo court down the line, okay? This lady back there or whatever, she's in a Bergdorf dressing room. You kidding me? He went there and he started to rape her over there or do assault or sex. He needed that. He was a very hot bachelor guy, and he had a hotel over there nearby. He wanted to do anything and take her there. Come on. The whole thing was like so ridiculous and so trumped up. Every single credible lawyer said there is no crime. They have no idea how they even found a crime. Okay? So that's what I want to say.
Okay, well, Judith, thank you. Thank you so much for the call. Let's go to line two. Adam in Florida. Adam, what's on your mind?
Oh, that last bit that you just played, they're called sovereign citizens. They think they're allowed to...
yeah, I know what it's called. I know what it's called, Adam, but what's your point?
Very comical. No, it needs to be stopped because then they go to court and they tie the courts up for months and months.
You're correct.
It's just a ridiculous
You're correct. You're correct. Now, Adam, and you know, right? They claim they're not citizens of the U.S. And because I had a buddy of mine try that. Literally, I was driving from Gaffney, South Carolina, to get to Charlotte, to get to the airport. And my friend is now deceased, and you know he grew up in the hood like I did. And we're driving, and of course I'm speeding. Whoop whoop! State trooper pulls us over. We're now back in North Carolina, and so the trooper is walking up to the car, and I'm like, "Okay, shut up. I'll do all the talking." And the trooper pulls up to my friend's side of the car, the front right side of the car. And my friend starts that nonsense. I am not a citizen of that. I said, shut. I can't say exactly what I said. I said, officer, I apologize. Yes, I was speeding. And he just looked at my friend like he was high on crack. And unfortunately, my friend might have been high on crack. I don't say that lightly. And I think I got a ticket and I had to pay the ticket a couple of $100s. But yes, Adam, and Adam, can you imagine if you're a police officer? I didn't even get a chance to get to the MRI situation yet. I may have to save this. The man that was wearing the 20-pound chain and was sucked into the MRI machine. Talked about it early this morning. I want to do so dayside. But Adam, can you imagine you're a officer, you pull somebody over, and this person benefits from all the fruits of being an American, and this nut job is going to tell you, I'm a sovereign, whatever it is, and I am not a citizen of the United States of America. Can you imagine what it's like dealing with that garbage?
It's a simple quote. I think you said it once before. You comply, you stay alive.
And that's the bottom line. You comply. There's no problems. And lately, and thank you for the wonderful call, Adam. I try to put myself in the shoes of law enforcement officers. When you pull somebody over, you don't know who you pulled over. You don't know what weapons they may have in the car. They have the element of surprise against you. Oftentimes, you're out there by yourself, and at nighttime, it's extremely dangerous. And so, just remember, folks, as Adam just said, you comply and everything is good. You know what? I'm going to try and squeeze in the MRI situation. Soundbite number 14, right? So the wife is now talking. Nassau County, man sucked into an MRI machine. He was wearing a 20-pound workout chain. This is part of the story that aired on News 12, Long Island.
Adrienne Jones McAllister says her husband, Keith McAllister, died after he was sucked into an MRI machine at Nassau Open MRI in Westbury.
I haven't been able to sleep. I'm barely eating. I just can't believe. I still trying to wrap my head around the whole thing. He waved goodbye to me, and then his whole body went limp.
Now, folks, I feel bad for the man, but who in their right mind walks around with a 20-pound chain on, unless, as I said earlier this morning, unless you're Run DMC, and they're not popular anymore. The news story continued.
Adrienne said after she'd had an MRI on her knee Wednesday, she needed help getting up. She said she asked the technician to get her husband.
And I yelled out Keith's name, Keith, come help me up, come help me up.
She said the technician went to get her husband and brought him into the room, despite the fact that Keith was wearing a 20-pound chain around his neck with a large lock that he used for weight training.
They were standing there laughing and joking before he even came to the table.
When Keith got closer to Adrienne to help her up, she said the unthinkable happened.
At that instant, the machine switched him around, pulled him in, and he hit the MRI.
Horrible, horrible situation. 800-848-9222. Let's see here. Let's go to line 1. Nick, Long Island. Nick, what's on your mind? Nick, are you there? Nick going once, Nick going twice. Nick is gone. Let's go to line 2. Mike in Brooklyn. Mike, what's on your mind?
Now, I got a question. Correct me if I'm wrong. When Trump sent the forces out to Long Island to clean up MS-13, which is what he did, nobody complained about that, did they?
Yes, they did. They did. They did a little bit. They're claiming that it was too heavy-handed. And when he said, when you're on your way back to the station house, rough them up. Don't make the ride too easy. Rough them up a little bit. There was a little criticism, but not as much as now, Mike. What's your point?
No, it's just that. I don't understand where we are in this world anymore.
Mike, it's real simple. Mike, come on, Mike. You know what time it is. I'm going to let you tell me what time it is.
I know things are changing.
Right, things are changing. Free. Those on the left want migrants to come here, for me and you to pay for it, for them to take our homes under Mom Donnie. You know what time it is, Mike. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not happy anymore. But what are you going to do?
You know what, Mike? You know what, Mike? You're not the only one. I do this in spurts, right? So I'm like, maybe I should relocate to Florida. No state taxes, right? And I think about people like Sean Hannity that have done it, and Rush Limbaugh, right? No state taxes. But then my wife doesn't do well with the heat, and neither does my son, who has epilepsy. So then I'm like, okay, maybe I should relocate to Delaware, where, no state tax. I believe no state tax. And then I'm like, I don't want to go where Biden is from, and I don't really know that much about Delaware. So we've all had the feeling, Mike, that that we're fed up, can't take it anymore, and want to get out of here. I'll give you the final word.
I'm not getting out of here. My wife would kill me if I said to her, "Let's move." That'll never happen. I'm a New Yorker. I'm a Vietnam vet. I fought once. I'll fight again.
Wow. Well, thank you for your service, Mike. Greatly appreciated, because we all know freedom is not free. Let's go to line 3. Frank, Staten Island. What's on your mind, Frank?
How you doing? About like Mandami, I really hope he doesn't get in. I'm going to try to vote for Cuomo or maybe Sliwa. But I want to ask about one of his policies: the government-run food store or city-run food store. I know that could like undercut prices, which is the fear. But just one question: we already have dollar stores, right? And people go to those dollar stores to get a lower price on a merchandise, and those stores are not putting like supermarkets out of business or anything else.
Well,
So
you raise a great point, Frank. But for the most part, you tell me, and I go to dollar stores, right? But dollar stores are not really selling what supermarkets sell. Number one, you can't really buy meat unless it's frozen. They have the freezers with these little, and it's not $1 anymore. I think it's $1.99. But I understand your premise. You're saying that they're similar. The bottom line is this: nowhere where government-owned grocery stores have been tried has it worked. And so you're comparing apples and oranges when you say compare it to a dollar store. But thank you for the great call. Let's go to line 2. Tony in Brooklyn. Tony, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic. What was I going to say? USA, their funds were cut, and Colbert was losing $30 to $50 million a year. That sounds kind of convenient after the aid was cut. That Colbert, that the network cancels Colbert's show. Do you feel that USAID was subsidizing his show?
I can't imagine it. I don't know where you're getting that from, that USAID was subsidizing his show. He's just been losing money, a ton of money. And he's been losing money because he's not funny. The show is not good. After David Letterman, they should have just taken it off the air. That's the bottom line. The dude is just not funny. I don't think it has anything to do with USAID. He was losing millions for years. And if you're CBS, Tony, how long can you continue to stay with a sinking ship? And that ship was sinking big time. Folks, all it takes is $11 a month. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at T2T.org.